I need these memories, she says as she holds up the tapestry of possibly the sweetest and one of the most impactful moments in your life, Juliet. And there's a flicker, like static through reality. And you're not holding hands with Alexandria anymore. You're not around somebody who's weaving. You are in a dark house, dilapidated, but not completely run down. The
The,
carpet is old and looks like it's absorbed many, many things in its life and has never known the touch of a steam cleaner. You can't make out much, just graying walls with peeling wallpaper. Doesn't seem to have a pattern. And
I
you
don't
can't see the.
recognize. Oh, sorry.
No, that's all right. You do and you don't. Part of you feels like this is all extraordinarily familiar, and it's the part of your brain that screams about danger when you see shadows moving oddly, when you're all alone and everything is so still that you can hear your own heartbeat. The rest of you doesn't recall being here ever.
And is there any kind of noise happening, like buzzing, or is it completely silent?
It is completely silent.
She doesn't like that. Um,
She can only see maybe 10, 15 feet ahead of her. There's no obvious light source, but it's like a wall of shadow just beyond that limit of her vision.
she's going to explore, look for what brought her here.
The carpet crunches unpleasantly under her feet, a sound that's both damp and crispy. For a little while, and it's hard to tell how long it is, the walls just continue. There's no doors, there's no windows, there's nothing hanging on the walls. But eventually, she comes across a single painting hanging on the right side wall. The frame is weathered. This is old, hard to tell even sort of what wood it is at this point, but it's stained and a little moldy. The picture itself is of a woman, possibly, probably elderly from the wrinkles of her hands, sitting in an old style rocking chair, the old wooden kind. She's wearing a black and white dress, lots of frills, but nothing can she make out of her face. Her hair is stark white and done up in thick curls that look, even in the picture, like they're not natural, like she might be wearing a wig. Her face is a blur, and not a blur of paint, but more like a blur for done for somebody's protection when you're watching a TV show.
And does it look like the blur was. You said this is a painting?
Yes,
Is the blur like something that happened after the painting had been painted, or is this an effect that was done when painted?
this looks like it came after.
She's gonna like touch and see what's going on, like what it might be. As
She
she's
touches.
inspecting, so like She's trying to figure out if it was done after she's just like lightly grazing.
She touches, and the face, for all its blurring, it feels like she has touched skin. And the figure in the painting rocks back from the touch and then rocks forward. And distantly, like you're hearing it down a tunnel with some pretty fantastic acoustics, she can hear the creak of wood on wood as the figure continues to rock.
Does it sound like it's in the house?
It sounds like it's coming from the painting, as though the
Okay.
painting were more of a window or a doorway than just a painting hanging on the wall. After a few months of rocking, she hears a voice in that same distant, echoing tone, old and cracked, but not feeble, just aged. This is, "Careful, dearie. You probably don't remember what happened last time, but you should. He's still here."
Who? Sorry, that was probably really quiet.
That's all right.
Who?
You don't remember then. He's why you don't remember. He left a mark on you, dearie, and you left a mark on him.
She kind of just like touches the white patch of her hair. A mark on him. Strange. Where's Juliet? Strange. Anything else you'd like to tell me?
Just one thing. Run. And down the hall behind her, she hears the cracking of wood, not just of feet on wood, but as though the hallway itself were collapsing like a crushed soda can, and it's coming closer. Not a rush necessarily, but definitely with intent and purpose.
I think as soon as she hears it start to crack, she's like, it'll be a quick look. Does she recognize this figure from
There's no
last?
figure.
No figure. Okay.
There's no figure. Just behind her is darkness and the sound getting closer.
She's gonna run.
Goodbye, dearie.
Does she
And
recognize
this,
the voice?
no,
No?
no, this one,
This
the
is just
voice
a
isn't
painting.
familiar at all. It's just a painting on the wall.
Because I was like, if that's her grandma, she'd remember her grandma.
She would remember her grandma. Yeah, this is not her grandma. And as she's running, she hears that voice far more distantly saying, "Now don't you touch my painting, you bastard!" And then a little crunch, a little something extra. And the sound gets a little louder and a little closer. And there's an undertone to it now, a growl. Not like a hunting creature necessarily, but more like the growl of a stomach that's gone far too long unfed and has just smelled steak.
Hey, she didn't stop running. I need
Yeah,
you to
no,
know.
it's no, I'm there with you. I understand. The hallway stretches forever, and there at least it feels that way. The wallpaper gets more tattered. Mold and mildew start to droop from the ceiling like Spanish moss, but far less pretty.
Another never ending hallway.
Just, well, not quite. I need her. How would Juliet notice something, even in a situation like this, out of the ordinary, something nearly mystical?
Um, would you say a cult?
Yeah, the cult
Would
would
a
work.
cult would work?
Yeah.
Um, Cunning or resolve?
Which one do you think is more appropriate? Because I can see cases for either, so it's what you feel would she would do in this
I think I'm
moment of
gonna go with
stress.
cunning because she's already running. It's clear that she is like whatever this thing's doing, it's working. She's not having like she's getting out of there. So I think cunning.
Okay, go for it.
5 successes.
Wunderbar. All right, so it doesn't take her long to actually notice the pattern. There in the moss and the peeling wallpaper, she notices shadows moving strangely and whispers almost at the edge of her hearing, words she can't make out. And then, like a thunderbolt, the pattern locks into place and the whispers solidify into a single word: doorway. And up ahead of her, she can see a doorway made out of, it's hard to say, it looks almost like coral and bone and pearl had just grown out of the wall in the shape of a doorway.
Thank you. Thank you. Where's Juliet? Thank you. As she's just going for the door.
Right? She dives through the door, and just as she's made it past the door jamb itself, there is a thunderous screech of rage and hunger, and she can see passing by a wave of misshapen, shadowy mouths. Hundreds of them, it seems like, biting and gibbering, but passing her by as though the wave itself had a momentum that could not be stopped, had a metaphysical weight. The door slams shut, and a small figure hovers by the doorknob. It's featureless, like a doll, glowing with corpse light, but not uncomfortably so, not to Juliet. And it perches on the doorknob. It's only maybe 8 inches tall, thereabouts. No wings, just a genderless, doll like figure.
Hello.
Well, glad I found you when I did, though I don't know how long I'm going to be able to keep finding you.
Who are you?
You. That will take a lot of explaining, and we don't have the time for that now. You, by nature of who and what you are, have made a connection with something that you believe is a ghost, or at least you believed was a ghost. but what it is was never human and never could be. It is something you were never meant to find and something that was never meant to be here in this place, in this town. That you escaped at all is miraculous. And I know that miraculous may mean a little less than it used to, given everything, but you did. You survived with your body and mind mostly intact. I still don't know how it got here,
What is it?
but it.
Sorry, I keep cutting it off.
No, no, it's all right. It's all right. You've got questions, and I know out of character. I know I tend to. I can just talk. Um,
And I'm happy for
but
you to do that.
it, it is. It is a fraction of the dream of something older than time. It is a manifestation, the slightest projection of a titan. I don't know if that means anything to you, but if it doesn't now, it will.
All right. And do we know why a titan would pick me? Wrong place, wrong time?
We don't know. It's hard to know the mind of a being as primordial as a titan is. They are as much the embodiment of a concept as they are a being. It may have been sent for you. It may have been sent for one of those you are with. It may not have intentionally been sent at all. However, this place is difficult for any being that isn't mortal to remember or affect. I had to use how to put this, the hole that it burned in the shield around this place to find you. And that hole is rapidly closing. When it is finally closed, I don't know that we'll be able to speak again. So you need to know something. The
All
door
right.
is opening. Some think the door is already opened. You must not let it open all the way. You must find a way to close it again.
How?
I don't know. I don't even know how the door was shut in the first place or what holds it closed. I don't think any of the gods do now.
Gods. Who are you?
I am forbidden from telling you this. I may have already said a little more than I should, but I don't know if I'll ever be able to help you again. I don't know if I'll even remember being here when that wound in the shield closes.
Mm.
I will tell you this, though. If you go back to the place where you got, and points at the white hair there, do not go alone. You by yourself will not escape a second time. And if you think a wound and losing your memories is bad, the fate that would befall you if he catches you again, well, wishing for death is too light a term. And you can see the glow starting to fade and the tiny figure starting to shrink. And he says, oh, I think my time is up. Don't delve too deeply into your memories. Let them come naturally. If you force them, you could end up here again.
All right. Thank you.
Your mother's very proud of you. And then the figure blinks out.
And she's just left there like, what?
And as she's looking around, wondering, the sort of void of a room that she'd stepped into begins to shake. Cracks running through the walls, the floor, and the ceiling. Something slams against the door, heavy, insistent. The sound of teeth biting into wood. The door begins to buckle. The frame begins to bend. And just as the door splits and thunders inward, the entire everything around her shatters and falls away. And she's back, holding Alexandria's hand, looking at the tapestry as though no time at all had passed, and perhaps in this instance it hadn't.
I think there would be
The,
a small start and then realizing that like no one else is changed, like she never left at all.
yeah,
She just like settles as quick as she can.
the woman, her eyes flick to Juliet for a moment, and she says, "Oh, welcome back. I should have expected that, I suppose. I am Mimosine, and we have much to discuss."
All
And that's where we're going to
right.
close the cold open.
I'll get Juliet's voice back at some point.
No, it's no worries. I take it that you're just so into the moment that you've kind of forget to Juliet, and I'm here
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
So, all right, folks, welcome to Everyday Divinity, um, our Friday Cyan 2E game that my players have graciously allowed to torment in. Um, we're going to go ahead and start with our intros, and of course, we're going to start with the person who had the cold open, Ruth.
Hi, I'm Ruth. You found me. I am here on Monday in the Pandora's Gift Suncast as Xenon Alcides, Cleric of Nyx. Tuesdays in Rise of the Temple as Ish, one half of our badass twin monks. Alternate Wednesdays in our Oracle Force game as Trek. Thursdays as Nora Avalon, Deviant Paradox. Today as Juliet Fairchild, and producing today
Yeah.
Yeah, I remembered. And Sundays as Renee Ingvald's daughter in Shadow of the Term. All of the shows are good and you should give them a watch.
Thank
Um,
you.
every day brings something new. I am gonna toss it on over to Alex.
Hey y'all, my name is Sarah. I go by Sans on the Discord. I am on this channel 5.5 nights a week. I am here tonight as Alexandria Melanoe. Why did I get my hopes up? Um, I wrote it after session. I'm sorry. Our Sunday game, 7th C, Shadow of the Vaktum. I play Rose and Nyx. I have a Zia. Our Monday game, Pandora's Gift Nightcast. D&D 5e. I play Clarity Palace, the best healer ever, not a necromancer. Our Tuesday game, Rise of the Temple, D&D 5e. Shadow's Beautiful Homebrew World. I play Aiko of House Wolf. Our Wednesday game, Mask Oracle Force. I play Nightwish. They kept me as leader. And our Thursday game, City of Mist campaign, DM Paradox. I am the DM of the Chaos. Whoo! Other than that, you can find me over on Tango Productions, working with the Scar Adventurer and Raw Paper Fox on stuff and things that'll come out eventually. Let's drop it over to Xander.
Hello, tonight I am playing Xander. It is Friday night for Everyday Divinity game. He's here for plants. Although now there are things threatening plants. That's kind of a problem. But priorities.
John Wick of the garden.
Oh, definitely. And kind of on a strange tangent from John Wick, we found out what happens if you push Grant a little bit too far last Thursday. So check that out on YouTube. Oh, jeez. That's a fun character. Grant is he's fine until he's not fine.
Yep.
And then it's hard to say who's fine at that point. But tonight is Xander. He is the daddy of plants. But not literally. That's somebody else. Now that he's laughing, I'm going to throw it at Kevin.
Oh, hello. I do a weird thing on Monday where I run two groups of people through more or less the same story. We've talked about both of them, the afternoon and the evening shift, as I've taken to calling them in my head. That's a lot of fun seeing the differences that show up when the only difference is the entire cast and how they approach the game. So that one's great, a lot of fun. Then I get Tuesdays off. Every second Wednesday, I get to be in a Hellhounds 20 game, and it is so much fun. I get to be in this case, I am a 3 foot tall bard who should have been a rogue, who has now returned to the city where he is wanted by, not by the police, we dealt with that, but only by the Rat King and his evil brethren. So sure we'll be fine. And then here I get to come in here on Friday and be Solace, who I wrote down about halfway through the cold open. I looked down and realized that I had written down Sol S is Bugs Bunny if they'd written it in 1975. And I can't find anything wrong with that sentence. So that's that's enough for me. I think, yeah, Sarah, I can see you having to back up. It's anarchy, but with a prog rock background instead of instead of Mel Blanc. So yeah. But with that, that's how much fun I get to have, and I will very much happily hand it back to tell us a bit about themselves. Our genetic monstrosity. No, that's not what the GM stands for. Kyle, Bat Kyle, yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying you're not right, but hi, folks. It's me, Bat Kyle. You can find me here on Fridays running this and doing my best to, describe horrors in a way that's entertaining and still horrible at the same time. You can find me Sundays playing Len, the Wizard of Ice at this point. You'll have to watch a couple episodes to understand what that means, and I am okay with that. And other than that, you can find me in our Discord, one of the warmest, most wonderful, welcoming, and helpful places on the internet, being an absolute menace because even the best places has to have somebody like me.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
you touched the thing, or at least you
Yep.
tried to touch the thing, and you got
Yep.
flicked across the room like a piece of popcorn flicked off a table.
Yep.
Thankfully, you didn't break anything, but you did bounce rather springily off of some of the vines in the wall. They
Yep.
did not seem to approve you trying to touch the thing, but they
Mhm.
also didn't seem like they were trying to ward you off or wished you ill. So a netting, not probably quite as comfortable as, say, rubber
Oh
bands or
yeah.
what have you, but still enough that it's just kind of a, oh, okay, okay.
Yep.
Um, and then they let you kind of tumble. So if you want to try that Superman 3-point landing roll, you can definitely do that. It's not a big fall, but they're also not trying to catch you after lessening the impact. So
Fair. My the way I saw it was when it went off, he saw it as a flash, and he sort of that image in the comics where there's the curve of light that pushes you away in the
okay,
shock
yep.
force, like that hits him, and so he's basically blinded by the light. And the only song I could think of is Limelight. And it does that long dragged out thing where you get like the whole verse, like in an old heavy metal magazine or
Hmm.
the heavy metal movie. You get a whole verse and the length of time it takes him to go across the room, and then he hits the wall, the light goes out, and the little voice in his head that sounds like his boss, Elegua. He hears the voice say, "Stick the landing." And so after he bounces off the wall, he tries to come forward and land in the 3-point hero stance. So athletics and dexterity, I think that
That works.
that
Yeah,
makes sense.
absolutely. Yeah, it
Okay.
makes sense to me.
Hey. Oh, right. There's some stuff I have to do first.
Yeah, yeah. It always
More
asks you a
more
couple
clicky
extra
clicky
questions with
clicky,
the
and
systems.
then hiya, 2 successes.
Too.
So
All right. So it may not be movie perfect, but it's definitely better than most people would have managed in the same situation. He
fair.
lands, gets the fist down on the floor, but not too hard.
Yep.
His knees and fists are not going to be angry at him later for this. And when he stands up and blinks away the last of the floaties and
Yeah.
fallout, as it were, he notices that the leech person, formerly known as Randall Evans, is on the floor looking rather like an enormous earthworm that had been baked on the sidewalk for too
Uh-huh.
long. Dried and shriveled. Yeah, I mean, there's still like the creepy arms and legs
Yeah.
sticking out of the sides, but uh, he's very clearly dead, and he's probably, given the reaction, he looks like he probably died because Zane flicked an entire thing of Morton salt into his open mouth, and he
Fair.
couldn't get
Yeah.
it out in time because of said explosion.
Yes.
What you also notice is there's no longer any Zane, even though he was there with you, and the cape that Randall was wearing is also gone.
Oh. Oh. Oh, that was going to be such a joke later on, but no, no. Couple seconds to look around, and if I don't see a dead Zane, then we're fine, right?
Yeah, nope.
If he's not here and dead, then I'm sure he's fine. That's about how much so I'll put into that. The rest of it is, oh yeah, Xander's about to touch this thing too, right?
Uh, you don't know. Xander was on the other side of the thing
On the other
from
side
you.
of it. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just
All
you
right.
just ran up and kind of parkoured ninja warriored your way through the vines that were, and
Okay.
were like, I'm going to touch it. And it's like, the
Yeah.
fuck you are.
Damn. Okay. Okay. Well, in that case, so as not to get zorted again, but to not give up, I just start sort of walking around this thing, sort of looking not for a way out, but for what it is, why it works, what I should have done before I touched it. A little recon.
Yep.
So yeah, yeah.
As you're moving around, you hear an organic plant-like rustling sound, like the leaves, the sound of lots of leaves, still healthy leaves, rustling and shifting in a heavy breeze, and you see the vines uncoiling from around whatever this was and pulling back to the walls. They do so a little slowly at first, but very quickly it's more like fishing line being reeled in, and the more that they retract, the more of this object you can see, which is eventually revealed to be. It honestly looks like a giant spike made out of, if platinum could be turned into light, but still somehow seem solid, that's effectively what he is seeing. It's like an almost like a, how to put this? It's almost like a stiletto, but bigger than a person, and just the blade. No handle, no hilt,
Yeah.
just a blade. Just in the floor.
And
Perfectly
this
in the
is the thing I
border.
touched, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's like sort of unconsciously shake the hand that touched it,
And that hand is
and
still buzzing.
oh, I'll
It's
bet. Yeah.
not necessarily familiar per se, but it definitely feels neutral but energetic. Like his hand had fallen asleep, but it's also not asleep.
Yeah. And yeah, I just found the word. Solace is looking for a way in. Where's the door without touching it?
There doesn't appear to be a way in, but there is a Xander on the other side when he gets around, and after having to make room and kind of dodge and weave around the various vines as they return to the walls. But he's not
Mhm.
responsive. He has hands on the blade, not on the edge part of the blade, of course, but
Yeah.
the flat of the blade. And there are still a couple of vines just draped across his shoulders,
Yeah.
just almost like they're hugging him. They're not dangling, but
Yeah.
curled around, almost maybe more like a safety harness of living vines.
Fair. Yeah. Ah, not my door. And I stop worrying and just watch.
Okay. Xander,
Hello.
you were dismissed from the Valley of your vision, but you didn't return to the cave. There was a blink. There was darkness. And now you are sitting on a rather comfortable couch. Green leather, over plush, big enough to seat half dozen people. You can't really see anything else around you, just an expansive floor beneath you and a large screen TV. Flat screen, plasma. Might even have, the whole 3D thing going on, but you don't have the glasses for it, so it's hard to tell. But um, it's dark for a moment, and then it clicks on. And instead of showing you a TV show, it's almost as if somebody took everything fantasy on YouTube, took exactly 1/10 of a second of each of those shows, shorts, whatever it might be, and are just scrolling through them without stopping. It is a chaotic jumble of stories and voices and pictures. And even though it's almost impossible to hold on to anything that's going past, it once again feels strangely familiar. Something that resonates deep inside of him. Not necessarily physically. The faster these images go by, and they are picking up speed, the more a message starts to emerge. It's jumbled, it's messy, it sounds kind of like that time somebody, playing somebody's voice backwards, playing music backwards, but it's slowly and then fast making sense. First, the first word, actual word he can make out is his name, Xander. But it's spoken by dozens, hundreds of voices, maybe. And then you must close the door. You must find the others. You must keep it closed. Remember. And then the scrolling starts to slow and be more of that unintelligible message started. He feels vines coming up from behind the couch and wrapping around his torso. Not aggressively. They don't say anything. I know you're kind of waiting for that, but they don't say anything. But they wrap around him, and then there's a sudden tug, like a stuntman being yanked back and then, recreating an explosion for a movie. And his hands are no longer on the blade. They tingle. It feels like his arms up to the shoulders have fallen asleep. And there's some of that platinum glow on each of them, like a corona of power.
He kind of looks around the room, trying to figure out what end is up and what might potentially even remotely be considered a door. Because I love how direct these instructions are. But it's kind of like when you get the IKEA instruction that you're like, okay, step 1 is pretty clear. Step 2 is how do we get here?
Yep.
It's like step 1, take key. Step 2, close door. It's like, okay, but hear me out. Maybe there's a couple of steps between. So it's he has purpose, but is looking for answer for.
Yeah. And he sees Souls there, or Solace there. He doesn't see Zane. He can see, if he looks around a bit, he will see Dead Randall, which everybody's happy about, but not Dead Randall's cape.
He wasn't kidding about that cape being an artifact. That's a different issue.
That is.
Once you disconnect and Saul can see you standing there, probably with like sort of limpish arms, gets a little bit closer and make sure he gets into your field of view. And I keep remembering he leads with his face. So the first thing you see is him sort of come at you like that, and then you lived through that.
Kind of rough, like arm me a little bit jelly, but kind of making sure, okay, 2 legs, 2 arms. As far as I can tell.
I touched it, and he points like he's expecting to see damage, like burn marks, but there's none, right? I'm presuming no physical damage. Yeah. Oh, threw me across the room. The message must have been for you then. This door was yours?
The door might be mine, but I can't find it.
Oh, I'm very good at finding doors. Speaking of which, and it's only at this point that it seems like everything's winding down that Solus actually starts looking for a door, a way out.
Only the way you came back in. Or you came in originally. There's
Okay.
Otherwise the walls are solid stone.
Fair.
Covered, or at least covered with loam and vines.
I just remembered what we're about to walk past here. So in that case, he then looks at Xander and says, maybe a bath before we go?
I may take you up on the offer. I want to look around here a bit first.
Okay, I'm gonna go talk to the jolly old man I ran past. I think it's
You
Santa
ran?
Claus. I think yeah, he was very upset about. I think it's Santa Claus though, so I'm gonna go see if I can get a bike. And it's hard to tell whether he's joking or not because I don't know whether he's joking or not. So
All right.
it's not one of his gods, so it hasn't registered like the list that you went through. And he also only sprinted through it, so he only sort of saw picture. Right? So yeah,
he ran through it so fast. At one point, you swear that his foot actually went into one of like the baths, but just bounced off the water.
Jesus
So, yeah.
lizarded it. Yep.
Yeah, so I will mosey back towards the dude in the pool.
Okay. We're gonna stick with Xander for a moment. Xander, what are you doing to explore this room?
Just kind of taking a better look at the center area where the blade spear platinum is.
All right.
Might
What
still
would
be.
No, the blade is still there. It's still
Okay.
huge. It's still glowing. It hasn't left. What skills would he use to tell that something is off or changed or eldritch about the ground near the blade?
It's probably the closest being kind of taking what he knows of the plants are at the walls. They're nowhere near this kind of center area.
Nope.
So he knows that information. Like plants died. I don't know if they're still nearby. So he's kind of more sciencing it through and kind of going, okay, what do we know? This is definitely the key to something, or could be the gate in and of itself. Just not super sure. Can't tell if it's been disturbed or not. So it may be the direction's like, okay, was this part disturbed?
Okay. And what stats would those be? Like skill and attribute.
We're gonna go with resolve because he is entirely expecting that he's gonna be hitting his head against this problem for a hot minute. This is gonna be a while. Sol might have had like 3 baths by the time Xander comes out, but he'll have figured this thing out.
Okay.
Hello, resolve. That's what it's called. Gosh, I think I might have said that.
Yep. Resolve and what skill? Or did you already say that?
I think I was going to be sciencing this one through.
Okay. Yeah. Give me the roll.
Science, we see resolve. Hero. Thank you, Roll20. Gosh. For 3 successes.
That's good enough. He, between his all of his camping trips and all of his endurance runs and his knowledge of botany and dirt, he notices that the ground seems very dry, even though the vines along the walls appear well hydrated at this point. And it seems like it has traces, no matter where he checks, of silver and lead in it, as though it's been leached up slowly through the dirt over time.
I love how that's your answer, Xander. I love you, but I don't see how that's going to help the situation.
Do it anyway.
Do it anyway.
Xander wants you to push the button.
Does his answer is, hey, there are baths nearby, so he's going to go take water from the baths to water the center.
Okay, so
You said they looked dry.
Yeah.
I don't know what you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
no, okay, no, we'll go with that.
That makes Xander. What do you? There's dry plants. What do you do? I put water on them. Yes, that makes perfect sense to me.
Right. Saul, you have gone back down the tunnel for a
Yes.
ways,
Mm-hmm.
with the air steadily getting a little steamier, more humid. The walls start to gather with condensation, which tells you you're going in the right direction. Not that there were many other directions for you to go with these tunnels.
Mm.
Um, and then you sort of round the way, and there's that marble Roman style bath, Greek
Yeah.
style bath, and
Mm-hmm.
in the same pool that you left him is that same jovial, heavy set gentleman with wild hair,
Yeah.
big grin on his lips.
Mm-hmm.
His eyes are purplish blue when you get closer. You can't remember if they were that color when you saw him the first time because
Yeah.
you were running like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that's what they are now. And he has an old style amphora next to him now, a very new style high thread count, looks like maybe Egyptian cotton towel,
Yeah.
white towel next to him,
Thank you.
and a glass,
Yeah.
just a wine glass that he
Yeah.
pours a little something into and takes a sip, and he's like, "Oh, huh, I wasn't sure who was going to be coming out of that one."
And I do a big ornate bow, like the almost impossible sort of acrobatic level of depth to the bow. Come back up and it's, Obatala, King of the White Cloth, creator, judge, leader, sculpture, health, order, joy. A pleasure to meet you.
I'm impressed by your manners, but you are completely off the mark on that one, my friend.
And I
I
pointedly look at the white cloth. I am not about to call out a god, but I pointedly look at the white towel and then look back.
It's like I'm not a deity. I'm not a god, and I am definitely not of your pantheon. I I watch. That's what I do. I stay here and I watch. And he kind of, the water around him is actually very still. It's steam
Mhm.
roils off it and such, but it's very still and very clear until he picks up the amphora and just pours a little wine directly into the water. And the stain, the purplish red fluid, flows into almost a perfect circle on the surface of the water. And it shows him Jersey Shore, a rerun of Jersey Shore. Like I love this show. It's like
Saul would have no idea what that was.
it,
But he just looks in again and says, "Oh, um, well, if you're not a god, can I join you? And is that good wine?"
it's like, yeah, jump in. I don't really get a lot of company here. Uh, I was put here to keep an eye on things, and if worst came to worst, I can't intervene. I can't even leave this pool. But I was to sound an alarm, and thankfully the conditions for that have not been met. So yeah, please join me. This is a great vintage. So
He was, Solus was already peeling down. When I got to the part about the alarm, he stopped for a second, and then when he said it hadn't been triggered, he keeps peeling down.
yep.
Gets in the pool and says, "Oh, if you're keeping track of things, one of my friends is still alive in there."
Yeah, the other two are they're somewhere else, but also here. But I'm sure they'll join us eventually. The friend who seemed very good at stabbing people, I can't see him
Yeah, he's gone.
anymore.
I can't see him either. He's gone.
Yeah, that's probably cause for concern, but also not much I can do about it. So that's up to you guys. And this will be about the time I think that Xander joined him, since he was
Mhm.
just kind of poking at the dirt and checking things out. So Xander sees Saul hanging out with this gentleman.
Did he get his wine?
Yeah,
He kind
Saul
of
got his
hinted
wine.
that he wanted a
There's
glass. So
yeah,
yeah.
there's
Okay.
just you
Yeah.
didn't see where it came from, but there's just another glass that's topped up and handed
Yeah.
over, and it's a very smooth, very fruity red.
Nice.
Not too
Yeah.
sweet, not too
Yeah.
dry,
Mhm.
just
Just grape juice with a little kick. Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. Yep.
He's like, enjoy that. Those grapes don't technically exist anymore. And then
Stop,
he looks
a
over.
sniff, and then like really focuses on enjoying the wine. Yeah.
He's like, oh, one of the other runners. Hello. Welcome to the party, I guess.
Xander's looking for a bucket.
He doesn't see one. There doesn't seem to be anything in here except the gentleman in the pool with Solace, the towel, and the amphora. And he goes, are you looking for something? This is a bath. I can get you a towel. Did you need a towel?
I could make a towel work, but a container for water would be so much easier.
Um, I hope you're not going to drink it then, because he just sort of reaches behind him, and there's another amphora, and this one appears to be empty. You okay there?
Yeah, I thought you were gonna give him the wine. It's like no. Solace is like, no,
No,
this is good shit. Don't give
no,
him
no, no,
that.
no. And he takes the top off and he dunks it into the water that Solace and he are both, completely naked in,
Yep.
and then tops it off and he hands it off. He's like, I mean, if you do drink it, more power to you. I'm not here to yuck your yum, but uh, here you go.
And Xander's gonna take it, thank him for the water, and head off back down to the dry plants.
Maybe he wanted to be alone to drink it. Some people don't like to be watched.
We're gonna find out what happens when plants drink it, but that's not anywhere probably within his thought process, and I'm here for it.
At all. Nope.
Yeah.
So we're gonna leave Saul and the gentleman, who still hasn't given his name, but Saul hasn't given his either. So
Mhm.
things are good on both sides, and go back to Xander here. So he's carrying the thing of water, the amphora of water. The jug in his hand looks brand new, but feels ancient. Like something about it just says this is both very old and very new.
So kind of just like the plants from the vision coming down the stairs, a bit like that.
Mm-hmm. Bit like that, yeah. And you get back to the blade and the dirt. Where is he watering exactly? Base of the blade, base of the vines, just any old place?
It's gonna be a spiral starting outwards, working in.
Okay.
The idea kind of be to really let the roots kind of soak the water in as it's going, rather than trying to pour everything more in the middle and kind of let it kind of end up with more than what you want.
That makes sense. He'll have to go back and refill a time or two. The room is a little big and amphoras only hold so much, but um, as he's pouring out the water, the ground, the dirt that's getting watered seems to shift and sink. Not like anything's growing, but like it's possibly compacting or flowing away. You can't see
Okay.
anything down in the little furrows that he's carving with the water. It looks like just more dirt, at least at the outer edges. But near the end, after his third refill, when he gets close to the blade itself, the furrows widen suddenly, as though he's pouring much more water than he might otherwise have. The dirt falls away, almost pulls away, flowing from the center of the blade to form a ring around the blade. And what he sees the blade actually puncturing, it looks like bone. Ancient, yellowed bone, but bone from something enormous. This is one continuous big plate of bone, and he can't even see all of it. This is like more like, just like a fringe of hair around a bald spot, but it's a skull.
If the door's almost open and this thing's kind of peeking up, the logical answer is try to see if it'll go deeper.
How are you going to do that?
All right, I forgot about the stingy blade. I remember it's a stingy blade now. My noodle arms remind me.
Your arms are recovered by this point, and the glow has almost entirely faded. It seems to be still hovering a bit around the fingertips, but as he's working, it's slowly gone down the
Maybe
arms.
look at the base of the blade and see if there's a deeper incision like you'd expect if like the blade got kind of over time's recessed.
So you're getting it's hard to see from where you are between the glow and the shine off the bones. Are you getting down into the pit? It's
Yeah,
not super deep, but
we'll go in the pit.
okay.
It's definitely not OSHA certified pit, but it's a pit I'll
No,
take a look at.
it is a pit. Yep. And getting closer, standing on the bone, he can see countless runes, possibly lines, swirls, designs carved into every inch of the bone itself. All of them seeming to channel something, or at least be meant to channel something either from the blade where it pierces the bone or to the blade where it pierces the bone. And when he gets closer, he can see that the incision into the bone is wider than where the blade is piercing now, as though maybe the blade had been pushed up out just a little. It's not a huge gap on either side, maybe 2-3 inches, but it's noticeable, and it doesn't look like, once again, like it was cracking from the strike that put it there, if indeed a strike did, just that there's a gap where maybe there shouldn't be one. And while you're thinking about that, Alex and Juliet.
I think as when she came back to the moment, she would be holding Alex's hand tighter. And why? Why do you need it? Why do you have it?
Oh, I didn't. Oh, this memory? I have it because you stepped into my realm. Or at least this memory of my realm. You see, all of the gods worked together to close the door the first time. And all of them sacrificed to keep the door closed. She looks at Alex and says, and your people sacrificed a fragment of their divinity and memories for their part of it. problem is the binding is starting to fail. And I don't know why. Because I'm not really here. I am a fragment and a figment left to guard and shepherd as best I can the binding. I don't even remember what we locked away. That was part of the deeper sacrifice. And this was done in part so that nobody would remember what was here. Nobody could remember what was here. Not just the gods, but everyone and everything.
The town.
There's a town here now?
Yes.
God, you fucking mortals. You get everywhere. Jesus. And yes, I remember who he was. Very nice guy, actually. But the only thing I can think of is that we need to bind the crack, strengthen the binding once more. The sacrifice has to be meaningful. I don't need your spark. That would kill you. But I do need a memory that it costs you to give up. If you could think of a better one or another way, I'm willing to listen.
I don't have much memory to give you.
I know, dear. I think that's why this place affected you the way it did. This is a remembrance of the Hall of Memories, after all. What you saw on your way in here are also fragments. I can grant you this mercy, although you may not consider it a mercy and you may call me a horrid bitch instead. Um, but I can give you time to think about it.
I'd like to
If you
take you
can,
up on your offer.
I will as well.
Respectfully.
I rather thought you might. And she smiles and carefully rolls up the tapestry and walks over to one of the walls, and suddenly there's a basket of roven weeds. Roven reeds. Whew. Um, I mean, it could have been roven weeds, who knows? But very old style, not even wicker, but like almost looks like it was made of rope. And takes the top off and slides it in there with several other rolled tapestries that you can see. You can't see what's on them, just that there's more in there. And she places the top back on it.
I don't think I had that memory anyways.
You did, actually. And she wanders over to Juliet directly and reaches up and doesn't quite touch her forehead, but sort of hovers a finger across it. She says, "What happened to you was not natural. This isn't just a bump that scrambled some neurons."
And I also found out it wasn't a ghost, which was a lot for me.
Yes, that was quite a thing. And your little visitor was interesting as well, but I suppose that will be your story to tell. But the thing is, what happened to you didn't just damage you. It partitioned your mind. If you consider your memories a pool, and given how messy and malleable mortal memories are, you should consider it such. Um, Someone came and put down a wall, cutting off part of that pool. The memories are still there, but they grow ever more jumbled, indistinct, and ephemeral the longer that partition stands.
You make it sound like I can get rid of it.
I do, don't I? And you can. But I
Did she
don't
say you
know that you
can or can't?
can.
Ah.
And you can, but I don't suggest it.
Why?
Because what did this has to give it up willingly. You have to break the connection that you both have. And she sort of strokes the air around Juliet's head. Once again, not touching her, but hovering close. And Juliet can feel an echo of power, like sunlight that's purring on her skin.
That's a description, and I get it.
Pretty proud of that one, actually. But as wonderful as that seems and might even feel, um, it's not Juliet, but Alex who can see. They're like black roots burrowing into the back of Juliet's head.
What?
And yes, she knows that they weren't there before. This is more metaphysical bullshit. And she says, yes, this is more metaphysical bullshit. Um, when they encountered each other, what's within Miss Fairchild here surprised this fragment of a memory, this imagining of an avatar. And instead of consuming her, mind, body, and soul, the way it would handle most people, it was rebuffed, but at a cost.
What about me?
But- And
Because
that
she just thinks
cost,
she's a regular girl.
yeah. Congratulations, Alex. You might have to tell two people.
She doesn't know who her mom is.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't even know who her dad is. Like, she lived with Gam Gam.
Yep. And as you can see here, she kind of runs her fingers back behind Juliet's head through the roots, which kind of part like smoke around her fingers. And Juliet, for you, it's like your soul, for just a moment, became a guitar string, and it was plucked.
Ooh. Whoa.
But the note is a little discordant, like it needs to be tuned.
But is it like the creepy kind of discordant?
Yes.
Because that
The
makes sense
kind
for
that-
Juliet.
Yeah. The kind that causes the hair on the back of your neck to stand up and that tingle to run down your spine. For better or worse. So, as I stated, I don't suggest facing it. None of you are strong enough as you are to face it. But if you can face it, if you can defeat it, it will leave something behind. A single. Bless you. I wasn't sure what was going on there for a moment. I saw him lunge off screen, and I was like, "What the? Oh, that's just a sneeze." Okay. I was like, I didn't
No,
think it
he
was
was
that big
being
a reveal, but
taken momentarily.
yeah. A single drop of primordial essence, and that, well, I think that would do pretty nicely to stop the gap as well.
So you're
I'm
saying
open.
when we get stronger. Sorry, I cut you off.
No,
Where'd
no,
she
it's okay.
go?
No, it's okay. You could get stronger. You could plan something, but please know that the longer you wait, the harder it is going to be to reseal. And please understand that while I don't know where they are or what form they take, there are several other anchors like this one. It was not our pantheon alone that worked the binding. I'm still fucking surprised y'all put us down here. The whole
I
point was
didn't build
nothing.
it.
I'm just saying.
Neither of us built it.
Just like, that's awkward. Yeah, no. Okay.
We didn't build this city. We didn't build this city.
Are you sure?
Or did we? I can't remember. Damn it,
Juliet
Dad.
didn't.
So she says, so what I'll do is this, since I'm sure you don't want to have to travel down here back and forth time and again. She goes back to the loom and puts her hand on the shuttle, settles in comfortably, and there's a blur. Like, her arms and hands are moving, the shuttle is moving, and that the threads are being woven, but you can't follow it with your eyes. It is impossibly fast. Although still very quiet, just a faint click, click, click of wood against wood. And within moments, she has a blanket. A small blanket, maybe 4 feet by 4 feet, perfectly square. And in the center of the blanket, there's a pattern of an urn crossed with a lightning bolt. The main body of the blanket is a rather charming dark blue. The lightning bolt makes it looks like it was woven out of cloth of gold, thread of gold. And the urn is a brown so rich and textured it looks almost like somebody had just attached a flat urn to the blanket itself, but it feels soft like cloth if you touch it. She rolls the blanket up, she offers it to you both, and says, if you need to talk to me, you can only do so a limited number of times, but roll this out, lay on it, and think of me. And it's not scarded, so don't just lay it out anywhere and don't spill things on it.
I think both of our
So-
minds went to the same place.
And she sort of gestures behind her, and there's a door where one hadn't been before. It's a plain wooden door with a brass handle.
This door
She
we can
says,
open, right? Just kind of
yes,
like all this door talk.
yes, you can.
correct me if I understood the name correctly. This is technically one of Alexandria's half siblings.
More like an aunt, if I
Oh, okay.
remember correctly. Mnemosyne is the goddess of memory.
Yes, and I couldn't remember if it was Persephone and Hades' kid, or
I knew this yesterday, but I had to do a lot of data stuff today, and we're just going to say it is a relation at the
Okay.
very least. She is, or at least the memory of a relation.
Yeah. So Alex actually leaves. Thank you.
Don't thank me yet, kiddo. And the door closes, and Xander, you hear a door, wooden door, where you knew there was not one, click open, and there's a rustle of vines. And if he peeks out of the pit, which isn't terribly difficult since he's taller than the pit, he sees Alexandria and Juliet just kind of walk out from behind a curtain of vines.
I keep
What should have
forgetting
been a solid wall.
Juliet doesn't have her top on.
Oh yeah, Juliet's just in a sports bra. Alex has
It's probably
the
nothing Xander hasn't seen. Like, she's
Yeah,
not a shy
but-
person. Her pajamas are probably sweats and a sports bra.
But Alexandria is very obviously bleeding.
Oh yeah, there's that.
I mean,
yeah,
you
that's
have
why the shirt was off. Remember?
basically
Yeah.
you've done basic wound dressing. So if
Yes.
it's still bleeding, there's a much bigger problem if it is still bleeding.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a slow crawl bleed, but it does appear to be still at least weeping blood into the shirt, if not
Help.
gushing. But
Help, please.
The character is trying to do the math of if Steam would be better or worse for this, because the only way out's through a bathhouse.
Dirt or steam?
Well, but also you
If
see
we're-
the pit that Xander's in has a big ol' platinum light blade sticking out of it. You see that too.
Juliet,
and
do you think this is what she was talking about? What they buried?
Might be.
it feels very familiar, Alex.
But I'd like help putting this thing back into hole.
Yep, forget that I'm hurt. I'm gonna go help my brother out on his stupid side quest. Possibly full
That
quest.
might be a side quest.
Who knows?
Juliet's just like... You are
yeah, that was it.
bleeding.
Sorry to interrupt, but wasn't Juliet just told that we need to do a thing to get a thing before we can fix this thing? Wasn't
I don't
that
even
the
know if
speech
this
that
thing's
you
related.
just got? So
Assuming it's related.
yeah.
We don't
Maybe-
know.
maybe
Anyway,
Maybe there's a big different glowing blade. Who knows?
I'm gonna back out of the conversation again now because Saul's not there, but that's what I thought I heard. So
Oh, yep. And chat just reminded what I looked up and then forgot is that Mnemosyne is actually a Titan herself who boinked Zeus and birthed the Muses. So she's more like a step family.
Great aunt?
Great aunt, maybe great aunt would work. Like she actually got along so with the entire pantheon. So
Yeah.
Before we close anything, there's something we need. And also, that requires us to go back to the thing that did this to me. And kill it if we can.
Points at dead Randall on the floor.
I don't think this is a leech, buddy.
Okay, there's a hole. There's a thing that looks like it would fit in the hole. I don't see the problem. I recognize I'm dense.
Incredibly.
It's
Also, your sister is bleeding.
Yes, we need to redress the wounds when we get out of this pit.
So we should be going. Now!
We shouldn't be just leaving this sticking out of the hole it's supposed to be in.
I don't think there's much we can do now. And also, certainly can't do much more if your sister passes out because she's losing blood. I need you to take me seriously.
I am taking you seriously. Alexandria, how do you feel?
how is she, honestly?
Probably feeling like she's bleeding.
She is on the past the bruised health condition and into the injured health condition. The Silver Hunter was playing for keeps and struck very deeply and very tellingly before Alex rallied.
It got her bad.
Yeah. And it was a little easier to ignore when you were, sort of in a hall of memories, as it were, but now that you are fully back in the material world, the wound is making itself known far more assertively.
I would take her myself, but I don't know how the fuck to get out of here.
Yeah, this sucks.
Okay, Juliet, you take a side, I take a side, we push down. And then we can take Alexandria to the surface. It should only take 10 seconds.
Fine. Let's get this done.
It takes longer to discuss than what it should take to put this back in the hole.
All right. So
I think I'm gonna sit down.
Juliet's gonna help her down.
Okay.
Unless
Maybe duck a
Sandra
bit.
tells her that she's needed to push.
No, you are not pushing.
No, you
That
were
will only
sitting.
push out. That will only make whatever's barely being held in by a shirt pop out. And we don't need that.
Yep, we don't need a coil of intestine here, although it's not actually that bad. However, Juliet helps Alex sit down. Then she goes to one side of the blade. Xander goes to the other. Like, do you one, on three it, or how are you approaching this?
As they
Play it
walk
on
up
three.
to it, she was like, "You could have just led with it. It was just a simple task." Then
You're
we
the
would
one
have gotten
making it
done.
sound complicated, Juliet.
I just want to get Alex medical attention.
It's understandable. And I'm telling you, there's a big old spike and there's a hole it's supposed to be in. I
On
want to put
three.
this in the hole. Yes.
All right. So
Oh my
1,
God.
2, 3. Xander, you slap your hands on it and try and push down at the same time that Juliet does on the other side. You find yourself back in the valley, and the woman on the horse just looks at you like, why are you back? And just does a flicking motion, and you stagger away with your hands glowing and kind of numb again. Juliet, on the other hand, you go to slap your hands on it, and it feels like just millimeters away from actually touching it. Your hands stop. And for a moment, nothing happens. And then a moment later, much as happened last week when Saul put his hands on it, there is a soundless explosion, a concussive bubble almost that hurls you away from the blade.
As soon as she lands, she's just gonna go, fuck you.
Well, she thankfully isn't like sent tumbling around along the ground like she was bitch slapped by an ogre. She flies through the air and is caught by the vines on the wall, enough to cushion the fall to absorb the kinetic energy, and she's set on the floor. Nicer than Saul was, not that Juliet would know. And a vine actually snakes around in front of her and waggles like a finger, like and then returns to the wall.
And just like motioning to Xander.
Yeah, and Xander, while you're sitting there with your numb hands, you feel a gentle thwap upside the back of your head as another vine just kind of reaches over, like, no, that
And
wasn't.
stop
That wasn't good.
telling me to close the door without instructions on how to close the door, and then give me a key and a hole which a key would fit into.
The vine kind of reaches around and bunches up, like shoulder shrugging, before pulling back to the wall. Although, as it pulls back, it actually leaves a thinner length of itself wrapped around his bicep. It looks healthy. It looks alive. It looks like a complete circle of vine with no catch or knot, just wrapped around his arm.
Fine. You'll tell me when it's time.
And there's a little tightening on his bicep, like,
Just gets Alexandria and starts working the way out of the room. It's one of those, looks over at Juliet to make sure it's like landed okay.
Wait, what?
Is the Juliet not like now also injured to the point of attention?
No, I think she just.
No.
I think that probably pissed her off a little bit because she was just trying to help you.
And I was also
Like,
just
she's
trying
not
to
mad
help
at
whatever
you.
these stupid vines want.
She's not mad at Xander. She's just mad that that happened.
I'm not happy that happened either. That they're like, no, you gotta come back later. It's like,
So I think she just like stands immediately and is on her way to help with Alex.
so we both pick up Alexandria, and it's just that determined walk of, we don't speak of what just happened, all right?
And like it's the energy back, like, better fucking not.
All right.
And
Saul
poor
would-
Alex is just in the middle of,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yep.
have to explain some shit.
Saul, do you actually like ask anything or do anything?
Oh,
because otherwise
yes.
he's just gonna pour wine and.
Oh yeah, you gave me time to think. So here we go. I look at him as he pours me the second glass of wine. So if you're not a god, if you don't mind, can I ask you some questions?
I can't guarantee I can answer them. I'm not the smartest guy, and I've been down here a long time. But yeah, you can ask me questions. I'll see what I can do.
I think you'd know the answer to this first one. You said you report stuff. Who do you report that to?
No, I don't. I press the button if things reach a certain point.
Where does the button
it.
go?
That's a really good question. I don't remember. I'm not sure I even actually ever knew. I was just put here and told if that breaks, and he points down the tunnel, press the button, but don't bother running because there's not going to be anywhere to go.
I'm pretty sure that thing's broken. I mean,
Is it
you'd
still
know better than me, but
is it still there? It feels like it's still there. Giant
oh yeah,
shiny knife thing.
it's still there.
Oh yeah, that one's not for you. I can already tell.
It's not my door.
Uh, it's not a door at all.
Oh, everything's a door.
No, in this case, this is what happens if you put a board across the door and take a nail and slam it into the board to hold it in place to keep the door closed.
Well, if it's not a
That much
door,
I
then
remember.
why does it matter if it's open or closed? I think that means it's a door.
What exactly do you mean?
Well, if you said it's held closed by the nail, so if the nail in the wood wasn't there, then it could be opened, and that means it's a door.
No, no. I can see where you're going with this. But I would say more, what if somebody pried some of the nails up enough that you could just crack the door open?
So you admit it's a door.
That's not a door. That's a nail.
That's the nail in the door.
That's a nail,
It's not my nail.
but not your nail.
See, that wasn't that hard.
And you
I have
see, actually, no, before you can even
you,
say anything else, you see there's like a crackle of static in the air
yep,
and a very tiny cloud forms above his head.
yep.
And then he just right in the crown of his head is blasted by a lightning bolt about the width of a pinky, which doesn't shock you, even though you're in the water with him. But you
Yeah.
used to see him go,
Yeah.
and his chest hair actually kind of smokes a little bit. He's got a pretty curly thatch there, and he just goes, "That was." Oh, and he pauses and takes a big tanks an entire glass of wine,
Yep.
pours it again, and he goes, I don't think I was supposed to say that. Um, ow. And you see the picture in the wine in the pool distort,
Yep.
and then like the wine just shrinks down to nothing and vanishes. He's like, wait, no. I don't know when I'm going to get that back. Uh,
Just one more
did not
question.
Yeah, shoot. What else could happen?
Can I have your towel?
You can have a towel. And he reaches
Oh, yeah,
behind himself again,
yeah.
and he hands you a fresh one.
Because you can't leave, so you don't need it. And I step out of the pool and start to dry myself off.
Right, and that's about the time that Alex and Xander and Juliet come around
Yep.
the corner
Perfect timing.
to see buck naked Saul drying himself off, and the guy in the pool that you passed very briefly. No, wait, no, you guys didn't pass him. You didn't know anything about this because you guys
Those
took
two
the
did.
other
Xander
way.
does. Yeah.
You took the road less traveled by.
Yeah.
Boy, did it make a difference.
Oh boy, yeah.
So you step around the curve, and what Xander was talking about is there. It's a expansive Roman style, sort of Greek style marble bath. There are several pools, there's some pillars, and you see, besides Naked Saul, like I said, the guy who looks like he could cosplay as Dionysus pretty easily, but just kind of rubbing his temples like this. And he looks up at everybody else, and he's like, "Oh, where did you two come from?" Pointing at Alex and Juliet, like, you went past me, but
Thin air.
Is there one towel or two in the room right now?
A different way.
Saul has one, and there's one right by the guy.
Perfect.
And he's like, "Oh, that looks nasty. I don't have medical supplies, but we can do something about that. If everybody's okay to get really cool about some things for a little bit.
Well, if you can help her.
I mean, I would just need a towel, but what do you have in mind?
Says the pools have a really fantastic healing and rejuvenating effect. That's part of how I'm still alive. But you can't just kind of like splash the water out. You gotta get in the pool.
Ah.
But I've got some really nice wine. And he reaches behind himself and he pulls out a little platter, and there's some grapes and some old style cured meats and goat cheeses and such. Something wrapped in olive leaves that probably doesn't taste nearly as good as it looks. Or maybe it does. He's like, we got snacks.
If it's what he says, it's either the ER for the rest of the evening or whatever this pool's going to do.
And Alexandria trying to explain what the hell happened.
Here's as good a
And
place
then-
as any.
Exactly.
Hot tub scene.
Woo!
It's like you can have as many towels as you want, but that that doesn't seem entirely physical.
It's not. I don't know what that was from Alexandria. That wasn't Alexandria's voice. Okay.
That's okay. This tunnel apparently steals people's voices. So
Yeah, I keep gaining and losing Juliet.
it's all the dream sequences. It does it every time.
But yeah, Julia or Alexandria is gonna just be like, "Fuck it," and start stripping.
And the guy's actually a gentleman. He doesn't like ogle or anything. He does cheer a little bit, but you know, he's been alone watching effectively, reality TV for as long as reality TV has been around, and then probably a different kind of reality TV before that.
Juliet does ogle.
That's expected.
Fair.
Yeah.
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 As is her
There's,
God-given
like-
right.
Yeah. He's like, if y'all want to jump in too, I seem to help him. Plenty
Juliet
of
will.
room. Okay.
No reason to deny we're probably going to be here for a while, considering the taking off the shirt, looking at the extent of the wound, going, oh,
Yeah.
that was only weeping.
Yeah.
Juliet's not
impressive.
getting that stain out of the shirt. She's just gonna get rid of it.
Yeah. Probably for the best. Yeah, it
Just leave the
really
shirt here.
looks like Alex was stabbed with like a gladius, not even a knife, but like almost a short sword.
She's just
So,
gonna
yeah.
hold Alex's hand as they're sitting in the pool.
Saul dries himself off and gets his clothes back on, and then goes over to Alexandria and just says, "Lift your arm."
Okay. Does it?
Yeah. And without saying another word, he starts to work on the wound. I've got medicine with a specialty in street medicine, sort of ad-libbing shit like this, and intellect.
Yeah, that'll work. I mean, there's only so much you're going to be able to do with almost no supplies besides some
Yeah.
towels and whatever he might have in his pocket. But, if you want to
I get
do some
one
dental floss sewing
instant.
or something.
Yeah.
Can others assist him?
Six.
I don't think he needs it.
He doesn't need it.
Whoa.
Fine. It'd just be funnier to see other people attempt to help, but we can
Yeah,
just see him
everybody
go.
just piles in on the at least nearly naked Alex. I don't know if she's still wearing the brawn panties or whatever. There's no pressure to do either. Just the wound had to be exposed.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Saul's basically in your armpit, stitching your side together with floss.
I think
we're at
Juliet
the baths,
probably
so-
would have just gotten naked.
Yeah.
Her bra's her shirt anyway right now.
Yeah, you're at the bath.
yeah,
This is
Alexandria wouldn't want to get anything of hers wet.
Okay. Yep. This is Prada. I am not soaking it.
Plentifully.
This is dry clean only. This is wool. Yeah.
Yep. So, and
We're all friends here.
after, yeah, the
Yeah.
sewing is not comfortable by any means, but it definitely seems to help. And as Alex settles in, she can still feel that there's, the deep wound, but she can also feel the water, even with the stitching going on, seeping in, and it's warm and it's pleasant. It's a little odd, but very quickly the wound has numbed. It's no, at least the physical part.
Mhm.
The damage to her soul and or psyche, well, she'll have to work that out. But there's also some really good wines, even for a connoisseur. Even the vintage, the blend, whatever you want to call it, is hard to place, but it's very good. And he's passing around the tray of snacks and such. And is anybody else asking this guy anything? Talking to Saul, talking with each other, or just soaking and decompressing?
Alexandria is. At least she's gonna offer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what do we got?
It's just going to. I don't know why I always see her with a cigarette.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Does
No,
not
hey,
matter. And yeah, she would have gone through 2 very quickly, Xander, which is her classic. Like, I need to say something. I killed your plant. One of those type of things.
Mhm.
So I guess it's her nervous tick.
I thought the air plant needed watering. That's
Yes. I'm gonna unfortunately say that is one of the times of yes. I said before we were gonna meet family today.
Got it.
Figured I should give an explanation. When your kids' mom and dad, because I was the one that was always home, kind of told me a lot more about their relationship.
guy is riveted.
Without
He's like,
without spoiling too much of your story, I'm guessing you're going to explain why a woman on the back of a horse called her my grandmother.
Does that ding any bells for me?
the only grandmother that Alexandria would know, and I imagine she had studied. Well, there, I guess, could be 2, but the only one that would make sense would be Demeter herself.
Yep, and it's immediate. Um, uh, was her name Demeter?
There was no name provided, only a field of perfect plants with no shadows.
Yeah. She's probably your maternal grandmother.
Okay. But why does that bring you such anxiety?
Because she's not mine.
Even if she's not your grandmother, as far as I care and am concerned, you're still my sister.
Yeah, that's how I feel too, but they kind of drilled into me that we would be nothing alike and all bullshit. Kind of got to meet my dad, your mom. Well, saw them today.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know how much you want to know.
If you don't tell me, I'm sure life will find a way.
How
Considering
much
this big,
do you know about Greek mythology?
I can tell you about 1,000 plants, but not a person with a title. I know the general understanding, the big three. That I know.
So you said big three, which means you would know Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades. Right?
Would he? I presume he would. Yeah. I mean,
That's up to Nick.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like,
that's what
those are
she's
for me,
the
it's like,
asking.
for Xander, it's like big three being those three. It's like you can't graduate without at least knowing a major from at least one of the pantheons.
Yeah.
And that's like, she's like,
Yes.
yeah. Oh, okay. Hades is my dad. His wife Persephone is your mom.
That's why you guys seem so familiar. Oh, sorry. You just catch up.
I love this so much.
And yes, it doesn't take much math to realize that that doesn't leave much as far as the blood crossover between the two of us.
Yeah. I know that you got to spend a lot of time outside. I got to hear a lot about their shit.
And it got us in a hot tub after nearly being killed by leeches.
And a mirror person. Points to the damage on her side.
So you didn't just get bad luck from a mirror. You nearly got killed by a mirror.
Yeah.
Is it going to try to kill you again?
I think so. I don't think we ended it correctly.
Good luck with your real litter bathroom pictures.
You think this is like a. I mean, you think this is going to be like a Bloody Mary situation?
The good news is we know one person far like into at least the learning studies side that may have some answer about that.
Yeah. At least we can talk to somebody about that. get some information.
Somebody that thinks that we're not crazy.
Because I think if I knew, this hasn't been any it's only been 48 hours, right? Approximately.
Barely.
Roughly, yeah, barely.
I think if you had told me about everything that happened in the past 48 hours, 48 hours ago, I would have had you put into an insane asylum.
I might have plants inside of one of those.
Of course you do.
But I keep forgetting about them. So I don't think they're there anymore. Or they took it over.
We're gonna have to deal with that, aren't we?
You
I don't
are
know.
now. I'm,
Dude,
I'm not muted.
Does the town even have... Does the town even have an insane asylum?
We do now.
now. No, there actually already was one. It's a
Of course
smaller
there
one.
was. Yeah.
Yes, just go for it.
Yeah. What was it?
It
It's
was described effectively as the barest fraction of a Titan.
I'm muted on stream.
For the entirety of session?
Oof.
Not for the entirety of session,
Just
but
for
like
the scene.
for the
Oh
scene.
no.
Are you sure? Because they're responding
Nobody's.
to it.
Yeah, nobody said
Nobody
anything.
said we can't hear anything.
Could y'all hear me like a moment ago?
Yeah, they would have said something.
Bison Melky, have you heard all of that?
The hot tub was just too good. Yeah.
I don't.
Okay, well, we can always check the VOD later, but
Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot where we
Up
were.
to the hot tub. It was a Titan.
Something in
Fragment
me
of a dream
that
of a Titan.
was it
Okay.
took interest to. Am I getting that correct?
it reacted to something about you unexpectedly, is what Mnemosyne said.
Reacted to something about me. I don't know what that means, but it means I'm not dead. So that's nice. But we need to kill it. Yay.
Maybe.
We need to kill it. This we know.
Or we go talk to Book Person and see if they think that there's a way to seal it or kill it, or what our actual options are.
What else we can do?
All I know is that killing it will help us close the door.
Unless you have any expertise, he kind of gestures at the wine. The wine person that's also just with us.
Oh, you can call me Bill.
Bill.
That's what I've been calling myself for a while now.
Okay.
Yeah. Big Tub Bill. I'll workshop that, but I have no idea. All I know is that And then he kind of looks up nervously as he starts to talk, and Saul knows why. He's like, just that Titan spawn are the enemies of the gods and the various pantheons.
And Juliet, the conversation they had, she doesn't, like, she has no thought in her head that that might be something she's facing as well. So she's just like,
I can see your synapses firing, but I don't think they're touching on this one.
you think?
I know you're not one of ours. And he kind of points at Alex and Xander, just like he's not. But it's likely. It's not a guarantee. But I can't imagine a Titan spawn not just killing and eating a normal person. Unless they had some ulterior motive or something strange.
Oh.
There are some of them out there that could, like, there's this one, and then the cloud just flashes into being and zaps the shit out of him again.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he's just like, ah, ah, ah.
All right.
You know, kind of think like I'm getting to like it.
Saul is
And that's
very
where we're
glad
gonna
he's
drop
out
it.
of the pool. Yeah. Actually,
That's
can
where
I
we're gonna
can
drop
I
it.
do one more
You can
sentence?
do one thing, yeah.
Okay. I look at Juliet and say, "How does killing him help us solve the problem?" And there, yeah, because she said we need to kill him, but there isn't a direct connection between the dude that messed your hair up dying and the thing, because you still haven't told us about the drop of stuff. So that's what he's trying to get out of you.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you. And we'll get to that next week.
Next week.
Same dirty time, same dirty channel.
Oh yes. Yes. Yep.
All right, so thank you, everybody. Gonna close things out the way I like to, thanking my players. Kevin, thank you for never knowing what Saul's gonna do. So you know that always
yep.
keeps me on my toes and always gives me something interesting to work off of. Xander, or sorry, Nick, thank you for Xandering. I love Xander. He's just wonderfully clueless, but also very smart, and I just love the combination.
Wonderfully smart and dense.
Yes, which is weirdly familiar. Juliet, I love for her sort of just delightfully, like, enchantingly creepy, or enchantingly spooky. I'll go with enchantingly spooky nature.
Yay!
And Alex for channeling a little bit of badges and just being sick and tired of all of it already, and just finding new ways to be sick and tired of it every session.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yep.
Yeah.
And thank you, Bat Kyle, for keeping up with four of us. It was only three of us tonight, but that's still a load. I know these people; they're very, very good. There was four of us tonight. There's normally five. I still can't count. I can either count or be creative, and I'm choosing creativity at the moment. So yes, it's tough to keep up with any one of these people, and together we're a force to be reckoned with. So well done for always staying a step ahead of us. I never felt like we had you on the ropes. So well done.
Thank you. And of course, thank you to everybody in chat. Appreciate the comments. You kept it lively. Bison, once again, thanks for doing that little bit of research, because that just leaked out of my brain like a sieve, or jello through a sieve.
Like chunky jello through a sieve.
Like oddly chunky jello through
Oddly
a sieve.
chunky jello through a sieve.
Okay, and I think she's laying down, so I'm unlikely to get hedgehogged.
The chances are never zero.
You fucking
They're never
deserve
zero.
it, though.
I'm not saying I don't. Just who expects a ballistic hedgehog to the teeth? So, if you got this far in the VOD, you know, thank you. If you got this far on YouTube, definitely there's so many great stories from these people, other people in our community, hundreds of episodes of various great games to watch. So, you know, like, subscribe, run through it all. Come see us on the Discord. Like I've said before, and I'll say it again, it's one of the most wonderful, warm, supportive places on the internet. We'd love to have you. And, you know, if somebody wants a game, they get in a game. And we do this for escapism. Let's face it. We do this to spend time with our friends and for escapism, because the world is really scary. And even if you can't be in a game, you can still make the world a little better by showing a little kindness where you can. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. If you don't have the energy for that, be nice to yourself. I got nothing else. It's been a long day. Just thank you all again so much, and we'll see you Sunday.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thanks.
Night.
Thanks for coming.
Night, y'all.
Night.